Hey guys, another story for you. Here's a chilling, haunted fishing boat story inspired by the cold, unforgiving waters of the North Atlantic. Drawing from old Gloucester and Newfoundland fisherman lore, where the Grand Banks have claimed so many souls that some say the sea has never fully let go of them. This one's called the Haskell's Shadow, based on a real cursed legend of a fishing schooner, Charles Haskell, with a few deckhand embellishments to make your blood run cold. It was February 1866, peak dory season on the Grand Banks. The Charles Haskell, out of Gloucester, was a sturdy two-masted schooner, fresh built but already marked by bad luck. During her launch, a workman slipped and fell under the keel, crushed instantly. The yard boss shrugged it off as just one less mouth to feed, but the crew whispered it was an omen. The boat carried that shadow from day one. They were hauling cod in a screaming nor'easter when the Haskell collided with another schooner, the Andrew Jackson. The Jackson went down fast. Her crew of 15 men drowned in minutes, clawing at the freezing black water. The Haskell's men watched helplessly as faces vanished under the swells. No survivors. The Haskell limped home heavy with fish and guilt. After that trip, things turned strange. The fresh sign came on the next run out. The cook swore he heard knocking from below decks, rhythmic, like fists on wood, right under the forecastle where the dories were stowed. Like men trapped in a hold, he said. The crew laughed it off as ice shifting or rats. But the knocking came every night after midnight. 3 knocks, pause, 3 more. Never during the day. Then the shadow started. Fishermen on watch would catch glimpses of men in oilskins standing at the rail, exactly where the Jackson's crew would have been if they'd survived. Pale faces, mouths open in silent screams, hands reaching toward the Haskell's lights. When you turned the lantern full on them, nothing, just empty deck and spray. The worst was the dory hull. One foggy dawn, the crew lowered their dories to set trawls. As they rowed out, they saw another dory drifting parallel, empty, but with footprints leading from the thwart to the gunwale, like someone had just climbed out. The footprints were barefoot, small and blue from cold. No one on the Haskell had bare feet in the winter weather. The captain, a hardened man named Elias, ordered them to ignore it. Ghosts don't pay the mortgage, he growled. But that night the knocking turned into voices, low, pleading, in thick Portuguese accents. The Jackson had a mixed crew. Give us our share, the fisher's ours. The men tried singing shanties to drown it out, but the voices only got louder, overlapping, angry. On the 3rd night, the real terror hit. A greenhorn named Tommy was alone on the deck mending nets when the fog thickened so bad he couldn't see the mast. The knocking stopped. Silence. Then footsteps. Heavy, wet, coming from the companionway from below. Slow, deliberate. Tommy froze as a figure emerged, oilskins dripping, face hidden under a sou'wester, but the hands blue, swollen, fingers missing nails like they'd clawed at ice. The figure stepped a foot away, raised one hand, and pointed straight at Tommy's chest. No words, just that finger trembling. Tommy screamed and bolted for the forecastle. The crew found him curled in his bunk, babbling about the drowned men wanting their boat back. They cut the trip short and ran for Gloucester, but the Haskell never shook them. For years after, whenever the They cut the trip short and ran for Gloucester, but the Haskell never shook them. For years after, whenever she put to sea, the crew reported the same things. Knocking shadows, the phantom dory shadowing them in the fog. Some said the drowned fishermen from the Jackson had cursed the boat, doomed to follow her until she paid their share in blood or souls. The Haskell fished on until the 1890s, but she was always short-crewed. Men quit after one trip, claiming the boat smelled like the grave. She was sold off, eventually renamed, and faded from registries. Old-timers say she still sails on stormy nights off the banks, a dark silhouette with no lights, dories trailing like hearses, and the faint sound of knocking carrying over the wind. Fishermen still talk about it in Crow's Nest Bar. If you're out there on a bad night and hear 3 knocks on the hull, don't answer. That you might just come aboard to collect what's theirs. The sea remembers debts, and it always collects. Stay off the Grand Banks after night, friend. Thanks for listening, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.